Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this part I'm going to continue with what I was doing in Mayhem Temple and try and finish up the prison compound. As I mentioned before, I don't actually know what the code is, but I managed to find, I think, all of the possibilities online, so let's just try them all. The first one is sun, moon, star, moon and sun. Okay, that didn't work. The next one is star, sun, star, moon, and moon again. Okay, that one didn't work. The next one is moon, star, sun, and star twice. So that's once, and that's twice. Okay, cool, that one worked. So third try, I guess that's not too bad, given that I didn't actually bother to turn into a stony or anything and figure out the code like you're supposed to. So you can break open this boulder and this lets this little thing run back into Glitter Gulch Mine. And even though it went through the tunnel before me, I'm still going to end up in there before it somehow. But this gives you a pretty easy jiggy for this level. So pretty interesting relationship these two have. Not really sure what's going on here. Don't really want to know, just want to get my jiggy and get out, to be honest, because it's a little uncomfortable in here. So I'm just going to wait and grab a clockwork. It's always good to pick those up whenever you can. Okay, so we're now back in Glitter Gulch Mine. There's a bunch of things that I want to do in here. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is head onto this train track. Now, I mentioned earlier that I'm never going to use the TNT again, even though there's rocks down there that I need it for. And the way I'm going to get around this is just by using a clockwork egg. So I can just fall off here on top of the rocks and just walk through this little gap. Really don't think that sort of thing is intentional, but I think it also skips a little bit of text in here. I think if you come in here as BK or the TNT, then she talks to you. But I might be misremembering. Anyway, this is Canary Mary, as anyone who's played this game before will know and resent. I'm going to race her a total of 4 times in this playthrough. 2 of them will be in this level, and both of them are going to be in this video, in fact. And these ones aren't too hard, there's just a lot of mashing. The ones later in the game, especially the last one, are notorious for being some of the hardest parts of the game. So that's going to be a little while before we get to that, though. Okay, so back to BK. There's something across the river that I want to get. A lot of this stuff can actually be gotten really quickly now that I have clockwork eggs, which was pretty much the whole point. That's why things have been split up, so that I come back to these levels much later and finish them up. Okay, so in here, one of these rocks, I think it's this one, I know only one of them has something useful in it. Yeah, empty honeycomb. And a blue Jinjo. I could break the other rocks, but it's just useless stuff in them. I think it's like health or eggs or whatever. I don't need any of that. So out here, don't want to wake these guys up. I can just shoot a clockwork into this little opening up here. And pick up this jiggy. I don't think this is actually a loading zone. No, it's not. You're supposed to use the springy shoes to get up there. And you unlock them in level 5 Pterodactyl Land, which I'm not actually in yet, so it's much quicker to use the clockworks anyway. Oops. Yeah, that's one thing I meant to mention earlier. In the first game, if you're in Talon Tromp mode and you jump and then you press A in the air, nothing happens. It just sort of acts like you didn't do anything, which means that if you're going up a hill, you can just mash A. In this game, whenever you press A after doing a jump, it comes out of Talon Tromp mode, and that's kind of annoying when you're like on a hill like that. Sometimes when you jump, when you're going down a hill, he sort of does it while he's in the air after bouncing on the ground, if that makes any sense, and it just means you come out of Talon Tromp mode, and it's just very nitpicky, but it is something that bothers me. Can I please get around this? It doesn't really matter if I take damage here, because in 2 seconds these things are going to be turned off anyway once I do this. Oops, okay, just narrowly avoided death there. I don't think that thing actually kills you, in fact, it probably damages you. It's a bit like the thing in Fungi Forest in DK64, reminds me of that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do... Where's the warp? There it is. So I'm going to come back to the crushing shed in a second. And just to make this next part a little quicker, I'm going to pick these up and head around this way. So there's Canary Mary. Yeah, I will be dealing with her fairly soon, but before I get to that, actually before I do anything, as always, I'm going to restock on the clockworks. And in here is a section of the level which I really don't like. It's not as bad as Canary Mary, but it's pretty lame because it's another first person section. I don't know where they got the idea that these would be good, but there's another Jam Jars move to learn. He wants 95, I've got 420. So this is just basically a non-projectile attack for the FPS section, so you can just press B and do this. So that's the guy whose partner I rescued earlier. This is another jiggy that you can get from him. So 15 little things of dynamite to hit. Just gotta hit all of them. I'm gonna try and go about this methodically and just sort of hope that I don't miss any rooms. I'm gonna do all the upper levels first. I think that makes the most sense. I mean, I'm sure there is like a really fast route for this. I just don't know what it is. I've not bothered to sort of research that kind of stuff because it's not like, it shouldn't be too hard. You know, you get 200 seconds for it, which actually is quite a lot. So yeah, there's a bunch downstairs that we can clearly see. Not going to go for them just yet. I just want to make sure that absolutely everything up here is taken care of. Because that is the easiest way to screw yourself over in things like this. I know that some of the rooms have got 2 sticks of dynamite in them, so I'm going to have to watch out for that also. So, is this where I started? I think this is where I started, isn't it? There's also this room. Or is this actually where I came in? This is where I came in. Okay, I think that's everything upstairs. That means there's only 3 upstairs, which is kind of weird. I thought it would have been like half of them up here. Okay, so let's just drop down. Come on, can we hit this? Okay, we can. Oh god, this is going to get confusing. Yeah, there's not much to say right now. I'm just trying to not lose my focus and make sure that I don't end up repeating the same couple of rooms, which usually happens in things like this when I play games, so... The strafing in this game is obviously a lot faster than the normal walking, but it still feels pretty slow to me. And it's kind of hard to change angles when you're doing it as well, I find. Oh come on, how did that not hit it? Okay, here's one, actually 2. Can I hit them both at once? No. I feel like if that was possible, it would have worked there, so I guess it's just not possible. Okay, and now I'm starting to get worried, just for no real reason, there's no basis for it, it's just that whenever you get to like a low number and still have a pretty large amount of time left, like I currently do, what I usually find happens is I get down to 1, and then I'm fucked, I just cannot find it. Hopefully that won't be the case here, so just 1 left. With any luck it will just be, yep, okay, that went actually really well, I can't believe that. I really thought I was going to have to do that more than once, because this is one part that I didn't practice. I mentioned earlier that before I do a segment I always sort of roughly run through the route. Well, I wouldn't do a full section like this, I would just sort of like say to myself, okay, I'm going to come here and do this at this point. So, quick suicide to get out of here. Wasted a few grenade eggs there, I need to space them out a little bit more. But this means I don't have to run all the way back. God knows that'd be a nightmare. Is the music going faster here? That's not usual, is it? Oh, whatever. So... I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering. It'll probably slow down when I go back into the main level anyway, so... Whatever. Yeah, we're back to normal. Gonna grab some grenade eggs just because I... Nope, I guess we're not actually grabbing any grenade eggs. You can only hold 25, which is pathetic anyway. So, everyone's favourite. The idea is just to mash A as quickly as you can. Canary Mary is rubber banded, which means that if you slow down, she'll slow down. If you speed up, she'll speed up. But this track is reasonably short, so I'm just going to go at pretty much full speed for as much as I can be bothered to. I might just slow down at parts because I don't feel like kind of mashing as quickly as I can, but it really isn't too bad. A good way to do it is to, when you want to go like absolutely full speed, just sort of tense up your forearm for like whatever arm's your strongest. In my case, my left arm, and just sort of mash it like that. When that gets tired, obviously you could pause the game and switch to this method, and then just sort of like get it with both of your thumbs at the same time, just alternate at the same sort of speed that you would do it if you were going full speed with one hand, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it's not fun. I mean, it's like I'm obviously gonna win, because as I said, this one actually isn't hard at all. It's just the ones in the later level in the game that are such a pain. Like, she's pretty close to me, even though I was going quite fast there. I mean, not that fast, but you know. And I'm not even done with her. I need to race her again in a second, well, in a little bit. So I'm not going to listen to her as usual. Don't talk to me, I'll come back and deal with you later. And up here there is something in this rock. There's quite a few Genjos actually in these rocks that you can break. Right, I've got 6 of them, that's quite a lot. Like, it'll be nice to get all of them out of the way, I suppose. Okay, so what do I want to do right now? I can activate this, so I can get back to this section later. I'm going to go and take care of all the stuff that Mumbo is needed for right now. So it's just as well that I actually did activate that warp earlier on in the playthrough. Okay, so I still have a global. My global count should be good for the whole run, even though I'm sort of doing it in a bit of a weird order. For instance, I didn't visit Mumbo at all in Jolly Roger's Lagoon. In fact, I don't think I'm ever going to, which means I'm pretty much going to end up with one extra global at the end, which is kind of unusual. Once again, I showed off the fact that you can actually talk to him from down there, which I'm convinced is a glitch. Like, the loading zone just must extend down accidentally there or something. Just the camera angle and everything just seems really strange. Anyway, so what do I want to do now? I want to head back to the crushing station. Or crushing shed, whatever. Because there's something here for him to do. This big rock with something inside it, not sure what. You can put it inside the shed with Mumbo. For some reason, BK can't open this rock, even though they can break pretty much anything else. Probably things that are bigger than that later on as well. Very strange. But yeah, that's why we had to turn on the shed earlier, so that this thing can very, very slowly go in and be destroyed. I don't know about you guys, but I really get sick of listening to Mumbo doing his little chant. See if it just like, this whole sequence with just the little magic sounds without him saying that, I think would be a lot cooler. Okay, he's not doing anything magical right now, why is it still going on? The sparkles are even gone and everything. So yeah, it's going to get crushed, and as we all guessed, there's going to be parts of Jiggies that come out. But what's a little bit interesting about this is that it's not just one Jiggy that comes out, it's like little fragments that get shot to different parts of the level, and by different parts of the level I mean literally all of them are outside of the crushing shed. So there's no real challenge. I'm not going to get them just yet, because Mumbo's kind of slow. Also because I want to get all of his stuff done just right now and get it all out of the way. So I'm going to go back to where I finished, Canary Mary 1, I think, yeah, and head inside this. This is the train station. And I don't think I've been in here yet, or I might have been in here to get notes, I don't know. So what I want to do is, first of all, there should be a box, yep. I think that's the first time I've used Mumbo's attack actually. So I'm going to take some damage, because there is going to be yet another suicide coming up soon. Come on, one more. It looks like an enemy from Conker's Bad Fur Day, those, the rakes that you fight in the first level. That's pretty much all I know about that game. I've never played past the first level. I didn't really like it as much as the other Rare games. It just felt so clunky and laggy, and I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the humour in it either. But whatever. People have asked if I would do a playthrough of that, and I don't really think the game, as far as I know, it doesn't really have glitches. I mean, it probably does have some, but it won't be like any of the other games that I do. Okay, so where's that rake? I want him to finish me off. There we go. That just saves me from having to go all the way back to Mumbo's. Even though there was a warp just outside the train station which I could have taken. I like my way better, so we'll just do it like that. Once again, gonna have to point out how annoying it is that you can't just switch to them right there. You have to go slowly all the way up here. Alright, where's the door? Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna head back into the train station now, which is where I just was. And this is gonna be kind of a big turning point in the game because it's gonna activate the train, which is gonna let us basically complete a bunch of challenges that involve you to jump between levels. And I suppose it also lets you quickly travel to levels that you're not currently in, but usually that's slower than just doing it on the overworld, so... Oops, well that was a tremendous failure. Lesson learned, don't try to show off. Okay, so you normally would stand on this thing and just decide where you want to go, but you have to go in here and fight the boss first. Old King Cole. Probably the most pathetic boss in the game. I mean, I suppose if you fight him the normal way, it's kinda... not hard, but takes a while, I suppose. If you do it the way that I'm going to show you right now, you're going to see what a joke this guy is. I mean, he already looks like a joke, doesn't he? So if I just shoot him with ice eggs, he'll be dead in no time. Which makes sense, and I guess they never really expected most people to come here with ice eggs. Like, every hit takes off 5 points, so... yeah, we'll be out of here before we know it. I love how he's still active even though he's lost his head. And that's him dead. As I said, probably the most pathetic boss in the game if you do it this way. And now that he's gone, we can actually use the train. I'm not going to do it right now, but there will be some of that later on. So let's grab this Jiggy. And since I'm here, well, not there yet, but I'm about to be there, I'm going to take care of the second Canary Mary race, which is the same thing in reverse. You just go to the place where you started. I'm not really sure if this one's any harder than the first one. But in the next level where you race her twice again, the second race is much harder and also much longer than the first one. It's definitely not fun. Yeah, I'm not going to wear myself out on this. It's not too hard to stay ahead of her. And as I mentioned earlier, she is rubber banded. I could just go really, really slow for the whole race and she would pretty much stay next to me, and then at the very end just give it all I've got and speed up. And that is a legitimate strategy for beating her in the next level that she's in. And it actually does work. Makes the race a lot easier. I'm not sure if it's like harder to make him go faster when he's going up a hill, because I think it just checks for like how much you're mashing and he just moves at the same speed regardless of the surface he's on. I think she might be a little bit faster in this race, but still nothing to be worried about really. I say that as I'm nervously expecting to lose. Nah, I'm kidding on, I've totally got this in the bag. No problem at all. Well, she actually did look really close that time, but I don't think I was in any real danger, so... Okay. So now I've got a Cheeto page, all that for a Cheeto page, which I'm never even going to turn in, just like the honeycomb pieces. But yeah, she's out of here. I think she probably said something about where she's going next, but it doesn't really concern us just yet. So, where do I want to go now? I want to go back to the entrance, so I can warp to the crushing shed and pick up those things that came out of the rock earlier. Okay, so I think these pieces aren't random. I think they all just do appear in the same place every time. I like that the Jiggy theme doesn't play until you get the third one. It sort of builds up. I think that's kind of cool. Okay, so what do I want to do now? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I remember. I know what I'm doing. Where's the shed? I want to go into this place over here. This is one of the mine entries. There's a couple of things that I can pick up in here really quick, so I'm going to go and take care of that. Oops, not close enough. So I want to go inside this tank. This kind of reminds me of Clanker's Cavern. There's things like this at the start of it, from the first game. Probably shouldn't have done that, but yeah, there's a Cheeto page in here. I think this, yeah, this is definitely the third and final one of the level, because the first one, I can't get this. The first one I got was on the wooden thing at the start. Okay, so, and there's also something underwater. I wish it would let you dive when you were actually underwater from a ground pound. Okay, cool. So I'm probably getting pretty close to having everything in this level, which is nice. I know in Mayhem Temple there's only one more thing I need. Okay, so let's just see if I can shoot this up here. Okay, no, not okay. I think this just saves you from having to like take that pipe from somewhere else to get to that Jinjo. I could be talking crap though, and I'm really bad at this. Hopefully I don't run out of clockworks. I am literally about to run out of clockwork eggs. I swear to God, when I practiced this earlier, I got it first try, so I didn't think it was actually difficult. Okay, I'm obviously aiming way too low, but I'm too scared to do it any higher because I think it's just going to explode. Okay, cool. Thank God for that, and let's just get one of these. That was genuinely a little worrying. Okay, so next place I want to go. There's no more eggs in the ground here, are there? Because I would like to maybe try and restock. Okay, whatever, there's not. So in here is the final thing that I'm going to do in this level for now. We've been in this area before. There was a Jiggy up there that I got. Not an issue right now though. I just have to go underwater and do this Kazooie thing because there's a rock right here that only she can break. And inside is something pretty underwhelming, to tell you the truth, at least coming from the perspective of someone who had these games when they were brand new and played through the first one like a million times before this one came out. So yeah, this takes us into Hailfire Peaks, which is my other least favourite level in the game after Pterodactyl Land, and oh my god, that lag though. So yeah, you can use the ice key in here. This is what it was all building up to. Very upsetting. And inside is probably the biggest fuck you to Banjo-Kazooie fans in the world. It is, I guess we're going to find out, it's the Mega Global. Yeah, because that's totally different from the others, right? So let's just... Oh, actually one more thing. I noticed this when I was watching another playthrough of this game that someone else on YouTube did that I really like, and he said that this area was probably one of the last designed in the game, which makes sense primarily because it's so lazy with the global, and also because the ice in here, you don't slip on it when you stop walking, which is kind of interesting, because all the other ice in Hailfire Peaks outside of this wall, you do slip on it. So yeah, we're not going to really be doing anything else with this level for a long time, so let's just save and quit. But before I go for this video, I'm going to go and just finish up this daft ice key thing, get it out of the way forever. And I guess I'm going to open the next couple levels as well. I've got enough jiggies for that now, so let's go and take care of that. I'll do that first, save the quote-unquote best for last. And this will also let me restock on my eggs a little bit. Oh, not going to make it. Well, I'll just wait. I can't believe how many shots that took, seriously. Like, I promise when I did it in practice I got it first try. I'm not making this up. It's really not that hard. I'm just bad at video games. So how many do I need for the next level? I don't even remember. 20, and I've got 30. There's actually a third of the jiggies in the game already collected. Most of them from the first 3 levels, so it sort of makes sense. Oh. Yeah, this is my least favourite level here. Which apparently is quite an uncommon opinion, as I've found out recently. A lot of people like this place. I think it might be a case of DK64 syndrome, as I like to call it, where you played the game as a kid and you don't really remember much of it. You know, you've got all these fond memories of it, and the truth is that if you were to play it nowadays, you would be pretty much forced to accept this piece of crap. That's absolutely true for DK64, although don't get me wrong, I can still find enjoyment with that game, as I can with even this level, but I just think this was the low point of Banjo-Tooie. But we'll discuss that more when I get into the level. So after this really, really long cutscene, I'm gonna actually open the next level as well, just because I should have enough jiggies for it already. I don't think I'll have enough for the other one, which funnily enough is Hailfire Peaks, not the next one but the one after it. So I've been in that level despite having nowhere near enough jiggies to open it, which is kinda neat. So obviously we have been here before. This is where I got the clockwork eggs, and I pointed out this dinosaur head before. The good thing about this level, at least in this playthrough, however, is that there are a lot of things that we can do in sort of funny orders. We can skip a lot of things. There are quite a few little skips and glitches all over the place. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's just do the next one right now. So this puzzle here is for a level that I think most people would probably consider their least favourite in the game. And as I mentioned before, I'm not one of those people. I think it's probably the best designed level in the game, and probably my second favourite one. It's Grunty Industries. Oh god, literally everything went wrong there, I can't believe that. Should probably start like looking at them and seeing if there's like any chance that it would fit in before I actually just press A. But who's got time for that, really? I've only got like a minute and a half or something to do this. Well, these puzzles are getting pretty big though. I mean, that one took a little while to actually finish. So as I mentioned a couple of times now, I'm going to reset during this cutscene as soon as it shows the level, because it's not actually necessary to show the whole thing. And this one, for this particular level, actually has a pretty funny side effect that we'll see later on. Not going to reveal what it is just yet. I want there to be a bit of surprise, so as soon as the game will let me, I'm just going to hit the reset button. Which is right now. Okay, so that was an area that we haven't actually been to yet. I don't have it opened. I don't think I can actually get to it yet until I have the springy shoes from Pterodactyl Land, so whatever, we'll see it later on, but not right now. So one final thing that I want to do in this video is pretty much what I just mentioned earlier. I want to go and finish up this ice key shenanigans, because there really is just one final element to it. And I'm only doing this because I asked in the previous video and in some of the comment sections if people would like me to do it, and most people did say yes. Personally, I don't really care for this thing. I think it's kind of silly and just like it's almost like a way for them to avoid responsibility with all the hype they built up around the ice key. Although I guess you could say some of that was built up by the fans, but whatever. It just feels like a real cop-out, that's what I think. But anyway, you give her the Mega Globo that we just got. And you would think that it would give you like this super cool transformation. I don't know. Thinking about it now, I can't really think what it would be, but it wouldn't be this. That's one thing that I can say for certain. So it looks like nothing's happened. In actuality, Kazooie's changed into a stupid dragon, which actually does, like, practically it is an improvement because you have a new move. If you stand still and hold B, you can breathe fire, which actually is quite powerful. It makes the enemies run away from you as well. Well, this guy didn't have enough time to react. And you also have infinite fire eggs. But the thing that annoys me the most about this is just that the voice is so much deeper. I quite like Kazooie's voice, I think, when she's sort of running about. It's quite, I don't know, funny sounding. This one's just irritating. Stuck behind this. And yeah, obviously she's green as well and looks like a dragon. So I'm probably going to keep this for the rest of the game. Doesn't actually make a difference in terms of like the story or what you're able to do or whatever. It's just a small advantage, I guess. But yeah, that's what the ice key gives you. So let's just save and quit for now. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next level, the next video, when I'm going to go to the next level, Pterodactyl Land. So stay tuned for that.